All right, we're going to demo our new deck building prototype, and we'd love some feedback.
All right, so here we go. This is our new deck builder sort of designs that we're kind of experimenting with. Um, we've added a lot of features that focuses around um, being able to search and filter and create deck lists, not only for yourself as a company to offer deck lists out to clients to buy, but also for customers to create deck lists that they can save and maintain for competitive play or general play in general, and also to fill out their deck lists. So in this version right here, we're going to use Magic as our starting point, right? So you would pick Magic as your type of cards that you're after. You would submit your list, and as the program sort of finds your stuff, it adds it to a deck list automatically. So in this case, we brought in 60 cards, and as you can tell, 2 of these cards were not found and added to the deck list, so most likely due to spelling error. So we're gonna go ahead and review those items. You can see Grizzly Blargs, yep, misspelling error. So this is the one that we want to do here. And then for the second one, yeah, Common Blonde, another misspelling error. This kind of allows you to quickly add those cards back in. Now that we have our deck list built out, and these are the cards we want, we were probably going to want to buy these cards. So we'll go ahead and search for to buy your deck. You'll have a number of filters that we're working on that will allow you to kind of refine what you want to show up. So it's fast for purchase. In this case, you'll see that even though we had a deck list of 60 cards, the store only had 57 of these products available out of 60.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Just real quick, it'd be cool if they didn't actually have to hit search.
That's our initial idea, was to actually have this populate at the same. That's one of the ideas we're doing. This would populate at the same time as this. That would be optimal. I don't know what our resources can or can't do, so we're designing for,
Yeah, let's plan for that.
Okay.
We'll have to poke around at the UX on that, but
Yep.
yeah, we'll definitely look at that.
We literally actually discussed that right before the meeting, of saying like ditching the search feature and just having it just auto show up as it shows up, and then, but we weren't sure like how much resource that would take, so that's
Also,
why
but that would also be, that's because we were also looking at what happens if there's the errors or the things not found or the format wrong, because then that affects like the results below and stuff. So we're going to talk about it a little bit and see how we can like bridge the gap of stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably a good consideration. So go ahead, Mike.
So yeah, in this case, so 57 products, we have it set to lowest price enabled. So it's just going to find the stuff, and you'll see here. So this is an expanded version of this, but these are the 2 products available for. Selected quantities 2, variant total 1998, 1998. If you were to expand this, which this is the expanded version right here, you can see that it was this product right here with light play 2 and another 2 over here. That's how selection happened. The closed version looks like this right here. So in this case, selected quantity was 2 for this card right here. So you would click this to open it up and then kind of show you the interior of what all the available cards are. So if you were unhappy with how our system selected those cards for you, you would be able to change the amounts and move them around. So maybe you're like, yeah, it's not that much more money to pay, $2 more for these cards for the mint. So I'll just go ahead and up that, right? So another feature we're looking at is, so here's a save decks feature that you would have if you're logged in with Crystal Commerce. You'd be able to see your decks and kind of transfer and jump around to see if you fulfilled all your orders. It's kind of like a wish list. Recommended decks, this would be from the store. So store might be able to create their own using this feature, save and publish and recommend decks to customers. And then also recommended cards that could be added to your current deck list. So ideally in the future, we would be able to offer similar items to customers, so they go, oh, that would be a cool card to add to my deck list. I'll add that. So this is kind of where we're at with it.
Mike, would it be possible to, at least on the roadmap for this, have like a networked deck section where there's, any deck that's created that it's browsable across everybody.
Correct. That's something that we're looking. So this is like step one of a three-part
Rate
process.
maybe like a rate my deck comments. It'd be cool to see like crowdsourced comments on people's deck lists, like recently added or trending deck lists.
I would say that's pretty much on the roadmap roadmap to get to that sort of social setting where you can trade, share, view other people's deck lists. This could be an admin feature as well. So this version right here is for a specific store. So if I'm on, let's say, Joe's site and I'm purchasing there and I go to his, so I would be managing there, but we could add within a fan account in the dashboard, we can add a deck builder there and we can like add features to like go to the deck builder area and see the stuff that other people have made and offered up. So they can be rated and graded, and then you can actually do live shopping there through a marketplace within the actual admin from the fan accounts. So that would be a kind of cool feature. So that's the next thing that we need to work on. The next step is like, what does that version multi-tenant shopping look like within admin or the dashboard for the fan experience, right? So you'd be able to build this deck, auto-populate, choose best price with shipping, and let's say it would break it out here to like Joe's store and whoever else's store, and it would fulfill the order based on prices across the different members in our system. So those are some of the features we're still like are talking about and trying to figure out, which is the multi-tenant feature and also the social feature and share feature. So at this step, we're at the my personal stuff, right? And being able to do that sort of thing. I think there's one more. Is it change product category?
Yeah, that's the one where if that's not the exact one that you want, you can just select a different one. So you might be like, oh, I want Jace Bellerin from Lorwyn, so you can select the Lorwyn one.
Right. Yeah. So if our system, like, since people just kind of write general Jace Bellerin, if you were want to be more specific, you can kind of refine that deck list and then change your selection and there.
Is this something like from within a retailer's site? The new ally network agreement would factor into this for having
Correct.
always in stock.
Yeah, so that's also part of the multi-tenant feature. If you are part of the ally agreement, the goal is to make sure no one ever leaves. So although right here you say in stock, out of stock, if you have an ally agreement, everything would be in stock. It would just show you all the cards from, let's say, Joe's store first, and then near the bottom it would show where the other cards could be bought from within his network, for instance. So he can collect a percentage for being the middleman on that transaction. So we're making sure that the client is staying here, buying the bulk from the original site, and then picking up whatever is left over from anybody in our network so they don't leave, right? So Joe is still getting the majority of the sale here, and we're not having this person go to TCG Player or eBay or wherever else to try to buy all of his cards from just random people that way. So I think that's like a nice happy middle ground. And I guess on the point of that is like how much of that is ally agreement, how much isn't ally agreement is kind of the discussion we'll have to have, because it seems to me that even if you aren't in an ally agreement, you would still want to sell. Let's say if you had 55 of these cards, right?
Yeah, quick
You still want to
quick
sell 55 cards on 60. So go ahead.
quick commentary that I have is, can you set your preferences? Like, say I want the cheapest version of the deck regardless, or maybe I want the deck, but I want it to be all foil, or
that's in the shopping filters
and
here.
have it do, or I want it all black border. Like one thing would be like, hey, I want it all black border, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that would be within the shopping filters. We have two.
I want cheapest, and I want black border.
Yep. Yeah, you should be able to. So this is for the filter
sets or the oldest sets.
As long as we can track the variant stuff for the information, I think we can absolutely put it in the filters. I mean, another thing that we're having to discuss is like this works beyond Magic, right? So Pokemon and whatever their filters are. So this area would have to be kind of able to change based on the sets that you're purchasing. So the left side right here is going to be auto purchasing stuff. The stuff on the right side is variant related and printing related selection. So you'll be able to select just foils, for instance, and unselect anything else, or exclude promo cards and alpha cards. Select only near mint and don't show me anything else. And then to address Joe's question, which I think, so yeah, if you were to expand the car within here, this is where all the different variants or versions would be with the prices, right? So even though we auto-populated these for you in the process based on the filters you selected, you can actually edit and go in and change and see all the cards that are available. So if I'm not very happy with this foil, like sure the foil was the best price, let's say, and then that's why I got put there. But I'm like, I don't want to use any foils in this deck. I could clearly move over and put in this other light play or near mint for a little extra and take the foil away, and then I would edit this card here. So you would still have the power to change things. So the entire process is editable from top to bottom. We're just kind of creating recommendations to speed the process up for you as we kind of go through. So spending less time typing stuff, more time just pushing a couple buttons and making this a more fun experience. And ultimately, it's a mixed shopping experience with a sort of gamified deck building experience that you can kind of keep track of your decks and then, see what card you're missing and whatnot. So I think that's the different strategy here, where I think very much this sort of feature across many platforms is very focused on, copy and paste a bunch of stuff and buy it, and I think the moving towards a, hey, make decks, save decks, share decks, also buy the cards you're missing from your deck, buy an entire deck or see decks that are super popular or cool right now, or,
Right.
build.
Request maybe request feedback of my deck. Like say, people could suggest like a crowdsourced feedback about what items could be added to the deck, or like changes in and out. And what about sell this deck?
Sell the deck as part of the first run of features we want to do. Like, I think that's a very important thing for our customers or clients. So
Is that
Joe could use this to create a deck to then publish the deck on his website for sale, right? Because he knows what he has in stock. He'd be able to create something listed for sale on his own site since he's logged in.
Right. I have buy list for the things that are on the buy list, but as a full deck, it could also put it in, and Joe could give an offer on the entire deck, right?
Totally. Absolutely. I think all those things are possibilities. It's a matter of like scoping that aspect out right now. So at this point in time, we have like the upgrade to the current thing, which the current thing is just a box here, copy and paste, hit search, and then you get a huge list of stuff that you have to add quantity to and shop for. So it's a longer shopping experience. Well, this will be a lot faster and also a little more fun without doing too much work on our end, I think. And this will sort of open the doors for all these fun things that we're discussing and have to kind of like spec out, scope out, and address. So knowing that stuff is available and that's the stuff we want to do definitely helps shape the design a lot, which is partly why it's taken a couple weeks to kind of really figure out what 100% the design could be.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm excited to get more feedback after we publish the video, and then we'll get this over to engineering and roll it out.
Awesome. Joe, do you have any more questions? I mean, if you have a mic, you can obviously speak up, or if you want to just type in.
He did, sorry to interrupt, but I was just gonna kind of recap something that he put in the chat, that if you go to where you can, when you click on the triple dot and you open the pop-up there, as he was suggesting, that we put the price, if you open that we can put the price for like the near mint thing there, just so that they can see like what the price is. But obviously they would, go down and can like refine that later and see, and like if they wanted a different variant or whatever, but we can
Yeah,
do
I've
that.
definitely gone back and forth on, right? Like ideally the deck list is just a deck list. It's like it stands outside of price because it's not really a shopping thing so much versus a shopping area. I don't know if what he's saying could technically benefit someone's decision making if they can see at least a basic price within here to be like, oh, maybe I don't want to use this card because it's $1,000 over. I can find something similar from this other set that's
Yeah.
only
Hey, speaking of cost, one element that we're overlooking, at least so far, is the delivered cost of the full deck. If it's using the Ally Network agreement, obviously that uses the ships from another location, and shipping and handling applies. So we want to maybe also have a smart way of optimizing the total cost using, obviously leveraging where the store is going to make the most profit, and also where the customer is going to spend the least amount of money on shipping.
Yeah, I think that will be optimizing features. So I've actually been looking at a couple different sources for ideas for that. As you know, like Legos quite a bit, and I build MOCs or mocks, and oftentimes I'll have to buy. So like, I don't know in the context if you guys know this stuff, but someone will design a Lego set, and then they'll post up the instructions and a Lego build. So it's like the same as like a deck list, really. It's just a parts list, and I can go to some rebrickable, submit that list, and then it'll grab and I can select filters and I'll be like, okay, well, this store has 200 of these parts and this store has 40 of these parts, and I can change it to optimize based on prices and shipping, because sometimes one company will have the majority of the parts, but some of those parts will be a lot more expensive than a different company, but the shipping difference could be the thing that weighs it off. So you have to kind of like play around with it and be like, there's no real easy way to like, I think there's ways for us to like optimize and provide optimization for clients, but sometimes the lowest price isn't the lowest price when you actually factor in shipping, and also like buying from the least amount of stores isn't always the cheapest route either, right? So sometimes buying from 4 stores will be the cheaper route, even though you're paying 4 different shippings. If there's
Right. And then there's also, Mike, there's also the factor that some might have coupons that might apply. So anyway, just to flesh out all the different intricacies that could be involved, because the store could have a coupon for, if you spend more than $50, you get free shipping. And then all of a sudden that changes things, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that'll be some of like the fun intricacies when we start crossing that bridge into the multi-tenant ally agreement version of this. I think this is a good starting point, at least from like the single store, that allows us to kind of grow from that. Because at least we have like an idea of what the design's going to be. We have the parts figured out. Now it's just a matter of figuring out some of the UX intricacies surrounding multi-tenancy and some of those filters, right? So like we haven't even scoped all the filters for Pokemon. Like there's obviously a lot of stuff that can change within the filter, so we have to make sure that we're accommodating for everything. So that might be something that we would love feedback from yourself, Dan, or members and whatnot, like what kind of filters
Yeah.
can you do? Or
Yeah, that makes sense. We want it to be agnostic to, personalized to each product type.
Correct.
And it is really like you said, it's a build list.
Absolutely. So
Well, great job, guys. And if there's not any more questions or comments, let's wrap it up.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
awesome. Well, thanks, Joe, for jumping in and listening to our squeal twice.
All right.
Yeah. Final words. What does Joe have to say about our improvement of Deckbuilder 2.0?
Looking forward to testing it, but looks good, he says. So,
All
all right. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. I'll get this edited and get it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
You make
Bye.
what we need to do
Yep.
here, and
Thanks, Dan.
we'll give you an update when we have another update here.